have an amazing conversation ahead of us, and it's about time we get started. Now, the world is full of complexities, and one of the complexities is what we get to talk about tonight. I don't know if you've been somewhere and you've had someone say to somebody, or maybe to yourself, hey, kwani ukulangi? Those who do not understand Kiswahili, that means, do you never eat? Others are asked, mbona unakula sana? Just because of their body size. And that prompts our conversation tonight. We're looking at medical conditions and weight. Some people are not obese or thin. I don't know how to explain it. The doctor will explain it in a more professional way, but it's not because of their own making. And that's the discussion we're going to have tonight. In studio, I have Dr. Daniel Githinji, who is a general physician at, he tells me, Ayurvedic Health Facilities. He's going to be telling us much more about that as we get into this particular conversation. So stay put, stay tuned. We're going to be learning tonight, so get ready. Daktari, karibu sana.
Thank you so much.
Thank you so much. Tell us more about yourself and the facility that you work in.
Okay, my name is Dr. Daniel. I have been practicing for the last 16 years. And when I was starting practicing, I had to attend patients with diabetics, high blood pressure, and many others. But later I realized so many diseases they are related with stomach issues like digestion problem, metabolism. For instance, you have eaten a certain meal, food poisoning, and maybe you are in the wedding, you take the public food, and you find yourself the food they are affecting you. But I find that there is a problem of obesity, overweight, and related with digestion problem. People think that they have ulcers, H. pylori, and they don't have the ulcers, they don't have H. pylori, but because of metabolism, stomach reaction, and constipation, excess gas, bloating, diarrhea, and many others. So that's the time that I decided I'll focus on stomach issues and overweight. Now for the last 9 years, I have been now focusing on stomach issues and overweight. And I decided that when you treat the problem of maybe digestion problem, you find that patient was suffering from diabetics, the blood sugar start normalizing slowly. If the patient was suffering from high blood pressure, when still you deal with the stomach issue, you find the blood pressure start going down. Now, I focus more of stomach issues and overweight.
Wow, thank you. Thank you so much for that opening statement.
Yeah.
It kind of makes me want to rephrase my title to It Begins in the Stomach.
Yes.
And even as we talk about the stomach, someone said we are what we eat. And I can already feel that's where our conversation is headed to. But you mentioned something very important.
Yeah. That
there are medical conditions that really affect weight.
Yes.
Can you give us some of these medical conditions that normally the general public don't know that these disorders actually cause weight fluctuations?
Yes.
And how they actually do that
in
the body of a human. All right.
Obesity, there is obesity, there is overweight, and underweight.
Just before we go very far, what's the difference between overweight and obese?
Obesity, it is extreme weight. For instance, maybe I'm overweight. You can't know. Not unless you take some test so that you can tell. That is the BMI, body mass index. Height divided by your weight, then you can get the BMI. That's the time that you can tell whether I'm overweight. But obese, everybody who is obese, even if you are not a doctor, you can see that person, she or he is overweight. That child is overweight because you can see the body structure. But for the overweight, you can't tell. Okay? So you find that there are so many people in the street, they are overweight, they don't know, and until they do a certain test, they will know whether they are overweight.
Yeah.
Underweight, you can tell somebody who is underweight. Actually, the way you can see somebody who is obese, the same case to somebody who is underweight. Somebody who is slim, yeah. And there is somebody else we can say, somebody who has a big tummy, yeah. Neither a man or woman, because for instance, a big tummy, this part of the back, you can see like is another, another, what can we call it?
Yeah, it's a huge swelling.
A huge, ama kichwa mtoto na hapa nyuma. Exactly.
Yes,
so that kind of the fat, the stored in the back part of it, that is, and the other part is the big tummy. You're not pregnant. Yeah. You are male. You have a big tummy. So you can tell this person is obese or is overweight. Now, BMI, it should be 24 up to 29. That we can tell that somebody is overweight. When it is to 29, 30, level 1, level 2, up to 40, obesity. When it is 18.5, up to 18.5 is normal. But when it is less than 18.5, 17, 16, that is underweight. Yeah. That is height divided by weight in squares. Yeah. You can maybe use in centimeters. You can use in squares. You'll get the same answer.
All right.
Yeah.
All right. Thank you so much for that particular introduction as well. Let's go back to the elephant in the room. Some of these medical conditions.
Yes.
What are they and how do they cause these weight fluctuations?
For instance, there is a condition like bile acid. Your body is not in a position to absorb, to release enough bile, and if your gallbladder is not in a position to release enough bile, what will happen that your metabolism will be very low. That will cause, for instance, constipation. It will cause your body to gain weight more than the body need. For instance, the work of the bile is to digest, number one, to absorb, to eliminate. So when the bile acid is less, the food, in terms of digestion, the food will be very low. You feel like there is a gas, like that. And when the bile is less, you find that you eat food at around 11, but around 4, you find still you don't want to eat because the food did not empty the body at the right time. So meaning that you store more calories than the body need. The issue of thyroid, we have hypothyroidism and hyperthyroidism. So the thyroid is the condition that causes somebody to gain weight. That is hyperthyroidism. That is meaning that it is very low than the ratio should be. Hyperthyroidism is so fast, producing more hormone than the way should be. That's why you are underweight. That's another one. There is also a hormonal imbalance where that, or change of the weather, some point lifestyle, you eat more than your body needs. Alcohol, issue like cigarettes can cause overweight, and many others. Yeah.
All right, you mentioned hormonal imbalances.
Yes.
And earlier you had mentioned things like diabetes that come into play.
Yes.
What roles do they have in metabolism, these hormones that we have in our bodies, so that they really affect how we eat and how we actually digest and process the intake of food that we have?
Whatever we eat, whether it's good or not. The hormone has capacity to change to a normal food. But what happened, the issue of thyroidism, the role of thyroidism, it is to increase a hormone that will break down the food. Whatever that will change your metabolism, whatever that you take, change your metabolism to be slowly or to be so fast. For instance, somebody diarrhea. It is because of hyperthyroidism. It is releasing more thyroidism or more hormone that fasten your metabolism. Hyperthyroidism release less thyroid or less hormone to break down your metabolism. So whatever that you take, change your metabolism to be very slow or to be so fast. That's why you find that those people who are overweight, the metabolism rate is so slow. That means you don't eat more food. It is because of your metabolism, that's why overweight. It is not that you eat more than the other people eat. It is not the portion that you eat. It is the condition that is causing your weight gain. It is not what you eat, the portion that you eat. It is a condition that is causing you to gain weight. Yeah. Some people, they don't eat much so that they can be overweight. It is this condition that your thyroidism, it is under, we can say under working or under releasing the hormone. So the other side is hyperthyroidism, it is releasing more hormone. The other side, it is releasing the less hormone. So that's, we can find that this person is overweight, this one is underweight. So this side is hyperthyroidism, this is a hypothyroidism. This is somebody who is underweight, this is somebody who overweight.
Is that the same thing that happens with hormones when people are stressed or highly stressed or depressed, where they do things like stress eating? Some of them puff in a very short time.
Yes, yes.
Others in high stress environments, they go underweight very quickly. Is it the same thing? Is it the hormonal thing?
Whatever you take, like medicine, there is like non-steroid medicine, they change the hormone. The same thyroidism. So when you take the medicine, change that thyroidism to be slow or to be so fast. That is the medicine for depression, for diabetics, for cases of asthma, in cases of HIV. So they change those medicines, they change your metabolism to be slowly or to be so fast. Yeah. So whichever the medicine that you're taking, it has to change these two hormones. That is hyperthyroidism and hyperthyroidism.
All right.
Yeah.
We've gone past half of the discussion for tonight, and I want us to go to the solutions, because it will be very unfair for us to talk about the problems.
Yes.
And you are the solution here in your field. Let's talk about intervention in these particular cases that we have. Some of these things have affected many people.
Yes.
And just before we go to intervention, I have a very serious question, because I have been here long enough to realize that some of the people in most of the population,
yes,
when you look at demographics, many people continue to add weight as they grow older. Let's talk about age for a few minutes, just before we go to the interventions. Let's talk about age.
Okay.
What happens as age catches up with people that causes them to add more weight, add more fat into their bodies?
We call it lifestyle. When you are age of 18 up to 30, some people, they don't have money. They don't eat what they want. When you get money at the age of 30, you start gaining weight because you eat more and you don't do exercise. You are driving, you don't do exercise, you are eating more than the way you should take. And also you are less exercise, so you start gaining weight. And there is also, when you are like 40 years, that is where you start realizing that something is not going well. You need to pay school fees. You need to build your own house. You need to do this and this and this. So you are looking for money so you are stressed up. So you take medicine for depression. You don't sleep, you take medicine for insomnia. So when you take the medicine for insomnia, what will happen? It will change the metabolism. When the metabolism, they will change the hormone, the thyroidism. The thyroidism change the metabolism. Metabolism change your weight. You start experiencing like constipation. The first condition is constipation, gastro problem, you excess gas, heartburn, and the rest. That is because you don't eat the portion that you should eat, and you don't exercise. Yeah.
All right, let's talk about the solutions to these problems. Now, I am in a position where, let's say, for example, I am obese because of a medical condition.
Yes.
What should I do?
Number one, you need to visit a doctor. Their test has to be done. One of the tests is lipid profile, cholesterol test, and of course the BMI is taken. And then, do you have another condition that is causing your weight? Maybe, for instance, you are in a position where you don't eat a certain food because of a certain condition that is causing weight. So that is, history has to be taken. In your family, or your family member, they are overweight. Your mother, your father, the family members. Now this is a condition, not, you don't eat more, but this is a condition. Now after knowing this condition, we can tell this is what you need to do. For instance, you have a problem with thyroid. You need to take medicine for thyroid to balance your hormones. The weight start going down. You should not take any medicine for obesity or for overweight. What you need to do, you need to take a medicine for that condition that is causing the weight. If you deal with that condition, your weight will go without causing any harm, very slowly. And also, we need to know what is causing this condition. You have problem with thyroid. You have problem with metabolism. You have problem with diabetics. Maybe you're taking the medicine for the diabetics, the insulin. Daily allowance is maybe one tablet is 500 mg. That 500 mg, before you visit the doctor, the pancreas used to produce insulin. So you are taking more medicine, the body is not balancing the insulin. The medicine that you are taking is more. So what will happen, you start gaining weight. So you have to stop taking more medicine. So you have to visit the doctor regularly to know this is what is happening, this is what is happening. If you know what is causing your weight, then you can balance your weight. It is very simple. Actually, to reduce weight is very, very simple. Very, very simple, because you have to know the cause of the weight. Before you dieting, gym, and so on, taking the pills, visit the doctor, and you know the cause of the weight. When you know the cause of the weight, the doctor will give you that medicine for that condition you are suffering, then your weight will be okay.
All right.
Yeah.
Even as you go to wind up, let's talk about diet. We just have like 30 seconds to go. Let's talk about diet.
Yes.
As a health practitioner, what diet do you recommend for someone who is overweight or obese due to these medical conditions? What food do you recommend for a person who is underweight as well?
No. We can't recommend anyone food. You know, we can't treat the patient through in this platform. Listen, number one, you need to visit the doctor to know the cause of your condition. For instance, you are overweight because of the bile acid is not producing enough. The liver is not in a position to produce enough bile. You have problem with the gallbladder because you have the gallstone. So the gallbladder should be removed, or you should take medicine to remove the gallstones so that the liver can store enough bile. So you should not diet or exercise without visiting a doctor to know why you are overweight. Why are you taking medicine? Yeah? Why do you exercise? Why are you dieting? You don't know the cause of your weight. You have to attend the clinics and you see the doctor, and after the doctor will describe the way forward.
All right.
Yes.
Thank you so much for joining us for this particular conversation. Unfortunately, that's where we get to stop at this particular day.
Yes.
Thank you so much for your insight.
Yes.
And I know that people watching at home are now more informed on how they should deal with some of these problems.
Yeah.
That is overweight, obese.
Yes.
That is obesity and underweight. Thank you so much, Dr. Daniel, for joining us tonight.
Thank you.
We appreciate it. All right, there you have it. And I'm sure the next time you see a person who is obese or overweight or underweight, you will not shame them, but you direct them to professionals such as Dr. Daniel to get help and to be told exactly where the problem is and how to solve it. Therefore, that means do not self-diagnose, do not self-treat. That is one of the lessons from this particular conversation. We take a break. We'll be right back in just a bit to continue with the news. Don't go too far.